Angel Reese got suspended. So Angel Reese threw her team under the bus. I don't know what's happening with the Chicago Sky, but we're gonna unpack this whole thing, and I want to give you guys the breaking news, let alone give my perspective on it, and also have a conversation with you guys. Let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. So now I'm gonna track this thing as best as I can, going all the way back before the beginning of the 2025 season with the Chicago Sky. So look, the things in Chicago have been really, really wild all season long because after they got eliminated from the playoffs, they fired head coach Teresa Witherspoon back then. And a move that Angel Reese said left her heartbroken. The team entered the rest of the 2025 season and they were just struggling, limping to a trash 9-30 record with no hopes for the playoffs. And for a player like Angel Reese, who was all about that fire, the losing was getting to her. So the first crack, it happened on the court during a game against the Connecticut Sun, and she was battling Aaliyah Edwards for a rebound, and then boom, she makes the contact with Edwards' head that got her eighth technical foul for the season. Now, when it comes to that eighth tech, that means you get an automatic 1 game suspension. And the play was whatever, maybe unlucky, but the rule is the rule. So Reese, who just dropped a monster 18 points and 13 rebounds, this game took place September 3rd, was going to be sidelined for the next game against their rival Indiana Fever, which took place September 5th, which they took that L and they lost as well. And a frustrating moment for sure. But I'm telling you right now, there was nothing compared to the storm that was about to be hit within the Chicago Sky organization. So, this is the technical foul, the eighth technical foul that I was talking about. I want you guys to check it out.
And watching the bottom of your screen.
So you can't really see it from the first angle, but you can see it in this angle. So we can see Aaliyah Edwards effectively boxing out Angel Reese. Then you see this little slap. I don't know if it was by accident in the neck of Aaliyah Edwards. Aaliyah Edwards ate that joint. Bang, bang. Okay, enough of you slap me in the neck. I'm still gonna get the board. I'm still gonna get the defense. I'm still gonna get the defensive rebound and run it down the court on my end. Then next you know, boop, hit her in the back of the head. Now that's thug basketball. So unnecessary. You should be fighting and battling to get in front to box Aaliyah Edwards out so you can get the board. Because I know it can be murky down there when it comes to the lower block because you battling and tussling, especially when the ball is in the air. You're trying to get the offensive rebound. Angel Reese for Chicago Sky to keep the ball and get another possession. And Aaliyah Edwards for her team, which is the Connecticut Sun, she's trying to get the ball and run it down the other end. Understandable. That's how basketball is. So then comes the status alert. Angel Reese has been assessed eighth technical foul. She would be suspended for Friday's game unless it's rescinded, which we know that didn't happen. So then it brings us to her bashing her teammates, right? And just as everyone was talking about the suspension and the interview she did dropped like a bomb, and in it, she just let it all out. So all her frustrations with the team, the players, the front office, she did not hold back at all. And she basically was saying, like, look, I'm not settling for this sugar honey iced tea no more, SHIT. We did this year. Then she said, we have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. So that was a direct shot at the organization. She's putting them on blast. She's saying she's tired of them, the team getting worse and worse. And she even said she was going to start recruiting players herself in the offseason, basically taking matters into her own hands. Now, and this is the front office sports article. Angel Reese faces uncertain future in Chicago Sky after publicly torching teammates. Talking about two time WNBA champion Courtney Vandersloot. Reese said the teams need someone a little younger and willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. So now when we go down to this article, it says, according to report, Reese says she doesn't believe her teammates, Rachel Banham or Haley Van Leaf, are capable of leading the playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky's roster with WNBA championship experience. Tyler Marsh, head coach, said we are aware of it. We're addressing it in-house as currently speaking. That's where we'll stay right now. So now, also, it says multiple league sources told Front Office Sports the entire team has seen Reese's comments and the teammates are unhappy with the direct attacks. A team meeting is planned at which players are expected to address Reese directly, right? So then, this is the post-game conference of September 3rd when they took that loss to the Connecticut Sun. Check it out. the audio, the the audio family is not on my end. It's the video. I'm just want to put that disclosure out there. I have nothing to do and no control over the video's audio when it comes to Chicago Sky YouTube in their post game conference being posted on September 3rd. Check it out. Well, no, correction. They actually won. Sorry, family. I know I was tripping. I just wanted to confirm. Chicago Sky actually won. But they're still 10 for 30.
8 points in the
Record.
first quarter.
Horrible.
Just what do you guys think was working there well for you guys on offense?
You said it 7
28 points scored in the first quarter. I just want to get your thoughts. Just what was
Yeah.
working.
I think we did a good job playing inside out. We started up with Mills. She started up really hot early. And I think our defense kind of led to our offense. I mean, shout out to all the guards that guarded Mabry tonight, and being able to hold her to 0-8 tonight. So shout out to our guards tonight for really like locking in and like being able to play her really hard because they did a really good job on her.
And then I had a follow-up for you, Rachel. Are you second place now all-time franchise leader, three-pointers? Just want to get your thoughts on passing Allie quickly.
Oh, cool. Sick. Yeah, that's awesome. I love Allie Quigley. I've looked up to her for a long time. She's amazing. So she's going to be on this trip tomorrow. So I'll definitely mess with her a little bit on that. But it's really cool. I'm blessed.
Rachel, I'll start with you on this one. You've specifically called out before this team trying to find the will to win, and especially over this last stretch of games. The games have been particularly more competitive. And today, of course, this is your biggest win all year. How are you guys able to find that will to win this late in the season, knowing that the playoffs aren't coming? Where does that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like our locker room. Like we really just ride for each other, and we're trying to just find ways to make it happen. Like regardless of what the end of the seasons look like for us, like this is still so important going into next season. And you want to still finish on a high note, and it's momentum going into next year for this team and obviously free agency. So like, we're just trying to have fun with it still. We're still hooping and you can continue to get better no matter what.
Also, you guys scored 20 plus points off of their turnovers. Normally it's the other way around. What did it feel like to try and, create those stops and also find some offense off of those stops? I know you guys kind of touched on it earlier, but having that transitional style basketball kind of come back here late in the season.
Yeah, it felt really good. I think we only had one turnover in the second half, and that's a great start for us. But yeah, it felt really good. Not having to come in the locker room and be upset about turnovers and knowing like how good we can be when we keep the ball in our hands and not turn it over.
That was pretty close to what I was going to ask. But just curious with, when you focus on forcing those turnovers, that was a problem earlier in the year. How much has that been a point of emphasis tonight? I think it was 6 steals in that first half, jumping those passing lanes.
Yeah.
How important is that for kind of who you guys want to be?
Yeah, I think it just gives us a boost of energy, knowing that we can just easily score and keep the ball in our hands when we set great screens, get open, and just continue to do great things. So I think we're just in a really good place with that right now.
Zachary. Angel, tonight you were all over the place at both ends of the floor, and you really played with a tremendous amount of confidence, it looked like, and a lot of grit, and took 2 really good 3-point attempts along the way as well. What does that say about you and your continued pursuit of wanting to expand your game?
Yeah, just trying to get better and do whatever I can for the team. I haven't taken a lot of threes this year, just because a lot of people haven't really left me that open. So that was like the first 2 threes I've taken probably in like 15 games, just because people aren't really leaving me open and I have the advantage inside. So just trying to continue to do whatever I can to just really help the team and just dial in on that.
Hey, Angel.
Now, for this next question, because mind you, Angel Reese hits them with the comment that got everybody talking, right? She put the whole franchise on the clock saying, I like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to make a move in a different direction and do what's best for me. And from my understanding, her teammates were not happy with the direct attacks that they're going to have a meeting about that Tyler March talked about and handling it in-house. And the team meeting was planned, right? Where they were to basically address Angel Reese directly, her teammates. And this was a massive moment, a franchise player just in her second year, basically giving her front office an ultimatum. Before we dive into the fallout and how she tried to clean this all up, which she's about to answer in a minute, go down to the comment section and do you think Angel Reese was just demanding excellence like a superstar should? Or did she just cross a line by taking team business public? Drop your thoughts below. And while you're there, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, so you never miss a breakdown of the biggest stories in sports. So, of course, the reaction was immediate. Media outlets ran with the headline saying Reese threw her teammates under the bus and was demanding a trade, and the fans were divided. Some were praising her honesty, saying that's the mark of a real leader, holding the team accountable. Others were like, nah, bro, that's unprofessional and the sign of a bad teammate who's just shifting blame. And the Chicago Sky organization went straight into damage control because Coach Marks gave a little statement saying the issue was being addressed in-house. Yeah, okay, so sources said a team meeting was on the blocks to clear the air because those comments created tension. And in a locker room that was already down bad from a long losing season. But just as the drama was peaking, Angel Reese did something a lot of people didn't see coming. After the Sky's win against the Connecticut Sun, she sat down for this press conference and tried to walk it back. Instead of doubling down, she started cleaning it up. Check it out.
Are you frustrated with the organization or frustrated in general?
I don't think I'm frustrated. I probably am frustrated myself right now. I think the language is taken out of context. And I really didn't intentionally mean to put down my teammates because they've been through this with me throughout the whole year. They've busted their ass just how I busted my ass. They showed up for me through thick and thin and in the locker room when nobody could see anything. So I would apologize to my teammates, which I already have, about the article and how it was misconstrued, about what was said. And I just have to be better with my language because I know it's not the message, it's the
Now look at this.
language because I know it's not.
You see this? You see the smirk? You see the
I
smile?
just have to be better with my language because I know.
Look at that. Did that look like somebody sincere? Look at it.
My teammates, which I already have, about the article and how it was misconstrued, about what was said. And I just have to be better with my language because I know it's not the message, it's the messenger, and understanding what I say can be taken any kind of way. So I just have to really be better and grow from this.
Sound like somebody that's really taking on the villain role, not just when it comes to being against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark rivalry that, she miserably failed in this whole rivalry situation she tried to drag on from the NCAA to the WNBA. Now she's being her own villain in her own organization with her own team. So when she says all of this, right? You look at her face. If you just look at her face, it's just a straight lie because what she said in the beginning and what she said the first time is what she really meant because you would never say that at all. So that little apology was her trying to fix the damage by saying she took ownership and she showed a little bit of maturity. But I'm going to be honest with you. This whole thing leaves some big questions about her future and the future of Chicago Sky. Because first, there's the trust issue. Even if she tried to clean it up and walk it back publicly, calling out the roster and hinting you might leave, that can create a rift that's hard to fix. The damage is already done. So can she really get the full trust of her teammates and the front office back? Some reports said the damage might already be done and her future in Chicago ain't repairable. Second, this puts crazy pressure on the Sky's front office and their GM, Jeff Paloka. Reese made her demands public, get great players, or she might bounce. That forces management hand. Now, they got to rebuild this roster knowing their star players impatient, ready to look elsewhere. Finally, the whole thing just adds to the Angel Reese narrative, right? She's always been unapologetically herself and has accused the media of twisting her words before. And this whole situation, from the crazy interview to the weak walk back, just adds another layer. And she's a demanding leader pushing our team to be great. Is she? Or is she a disruptive player who puts her own feelings above the team? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The answer is probably somewhere in the middle because she's a chameleon. She'll say what she really means, and then she'll walk it back and blend into being politically correct. That's hard to trust somebody like that, family, even a friend. So Angel Reese, turbulent 24 hours of suspension, then bombshell comments, and then her trying to clean it up, have left her in the Chicago sky at crossroads. And she laid her cards on the table, demanding a winning team. And while her little speech may have something smooth things over for a minute, or validated her feeling like she's doing something right by trying to get the tension off of her, the real problems are still there. The organization is on the clock to get better, and Reese has made it clear she's willing to do whatever it takes to win, even if it means leaving. And this whole saga brings up a big question. Where is the line between holding the team accountable and just tearing it down? Angel Reese walked right into that line, and what she does next will show which side she's really on. The pressure is on for the 2026 season, which all of a sudden has become the most important of her young and crazy career. And can her talent win out over all the questions about her leadership, or has she burnt a bridge that can't be rebuilt? Only time will tell. This is going to be what? A wild, wild ride. But we'll see, family. Catch you in the next one. Peace.